Can we slate click?
The momentum definitely on the side of RFK.
Roush Fenway Keselowski may very well be the best Ford team in the garage. They improved it again tonight.
Oh, God. Oh, my God, I can't believe that.
What's going on?
How are you?
A day in paradise.
I hear you just got out of the gym.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Sorry about that.
Thanks for joining us. No, we appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rolling into the stomping grounds that are very familiar to you
This
now.
used to be the gym.
Did it?
Yep. Yeah, this is the gym before Brad got here.
So when you come to the shop now, what's the energy been like at RFK? Especially give me like the last 4 weeks.
Last 4 weeks, specifically. Yeah.
Absolute perfection for Chris Buescher. He will go back to back.
Oh, yeah, God.
Checkered flag is in the air. Buescher's going to win at Daytona.
It's been a lot of fun. I remember first signing on over here into the development program. There was a lot of winning going on. There were a lot of checkered flags hanging on walls. It was expected. It was almost like, man, people were mad if you ran second or third, and I feel like we're inching in on that to where you're not mad, but you expect more.
You know, what a roller coaster, and that's just what this sport is. Try to laugh and smile when you're on top and soldier through when you're on the bottom, and sometimes you're there in the same day.
Let's talk about the boss man. What's it been like racing and working with Brad Keselowski?
A little bit tricky at times.
I like it. Come on.
It was
Bring it all out.
one of the first interviews that we sat down and did together at a racetrack in front of a bunch of fans. I feel like we were on a couch or something. It was a little bit too relaxed. And the question was, well, if y'all are running 1-2, and Buescher, if you're behind him, do you wreck him? I'm sitting here thinking, like, well, what's he gonna say? I was like, well, here's the thing. I want you to know that we're gonna race hard, and we're gonna put on a show to the line. And I think he appreciated that answer.
The 6 of Brad Keselowski trying to push that 17.
I was waiting for him to do something there coming to the finish. I figured we'd be side by side.
Do you feel the support here at RFK? When you step into a race car every single week, do you feel like there is an organization that wants me to win, but is also supporting me as a person?
100%. Like, this is the best place that I've ever seen RFK be in. Something as simple as making sure everybody had black toolboxes in the shop. What I've seen is the cleanliness and the organization carries over into all aspects of our team and kind of help everybody not have to focus on that, just kind of do it out of nature.
Yeah.
That's right, guys. That's the team we can be racing on.
I don't want the butter up answer for this. I want the honest answer. And you know him in a different environment than any of us ever will. Is Brad Keselowski a Hall of Famer in your book?
Yeah. I don't think there's any doubt that will happen. I am flat out impressed with the amount that he gets done, with what he goes through, with what he's done in our sport. And I feel like we have a ton of potential here. And just getting started, right? I think so much of that has come from his direction and from his mindset that I'm going to see a lot more through the next many years here, and I think it's pretty inevitable.
All right, good thing you said that. Boss man, come on over here.
Oh, he snuck up on me. Yeah.
Good to see you.
I should have given you a wink or something.
Man.
I'm gonna let.
See how that works? He stole my seat.
I know.
He said, no, get up.
Stole a seat. While he's sitting here, I want to know the black toolbox. Was that
black
just,
toolbox?
Yeah,
What
you
about
changed all the toolboxes to black.
Yes. If you look in the building, everything is white and black.
Yes.
Everything. Like, anything I've touched turns into white and black, and anything that I don't want people to focus on, I turn to white and black. Not because I don't care about it, but because the focus to me is always the race cars. And recognizing that we're not just going to get right to, like, title favorites. We have to be crawling, walking, and running. That's what this is broken down into.
Chris Buescher is going to win. He comes across the line in front of his teammate and the owner, the boss, Brad Keselowski.
So a lot of us don't know how this partnership even came to be, because you were on the Penske side, contending for championships, and then all of a sudden you're minority ownership in RFK.
You know, I had made comments that I wanted to come back to Penske, and I meant that. I was very sincere in it, but there was a lot of uncertainty in the landscape. What is now Roush Fenway Racing reached out to me and said, hey, we're trying to make some decisions. The next gen car's coming out next year. And they asked me if I was interested in it, and my answer was I would be interested if I was, also an owner of the company or a part owner of the company. And long story short, that was several months of working through that throughout the winter of 2020, spring of 2021, until we came to some somewhat agreeable terms, and the rest is history.
What have you seen over the last 2 years at RFK since you've stepped into this role that you've seen change?
Oh, man. I mean, if you made a list of all the changes we made, I don't think I could fit them on a legal pad, that's for sure. And the things that are easy to see are always going to be the buildings or the haulers, or these very tangible items. And those are important because they enable other changes. But what's most important is the changes that they have enabled. And that's more the people and the processes.
One of those people that you've had the pleasure of now working with, that you were just used to racing against him, was Chris. But how do you feel about Chris as a driver since you've stepped into this ownership role?
So I knew coming into RFK that Chris was kind of a hidden gem. I feel like he just needed to be surrounded by the right people and the right equipment. We've done that for him, and he's blossomed into the person I thought he always could be.
3 wins already this year.
Nice job.
For Chris Buescher, the resurgence of RFK.
All in the last 5 races, by the way. So coming into the playoffs, they are hot.
Hell yeah, guys. Hell yeah.
I want to go way back. How does a boy from Texas get involved in NASCAR? Walk me through the whole story of how you got into racing.
The basis of it is my dad was a hot rodder growing up. He was always messing with stuff. It just kind of was around racing in some sense.
You got bit by the bug.
Pretty much. that part of me is stuck, and I kind of just led down the path of wanting to be around anything with wheels and a motor. Got to the point where I started taking Fridays off to go race, and school wasn't very happy with that. So we had 2 options for credits or whatever. I guess you either had to play football or you had to be in the band. And I was a terrible trumpet player. So I missed a lot of exercises.
Wait, I didn't. We have to get the
I
trumpet
said terrible.
back out.
I can't. I couldn't play then. I can't play now. It would be very bad. So
How do we get Chris Buescher to play the national anthem at a race? I need it on the trumpet.
No.
I need it.
You cannot disrespect the country like that.
What do you think your NASCAR career has been like? If you were to describe it to someone, what would be the terms that you would use?
It's been a steady pace. It's been a little bit more old school in some of the beginnings and the way it came around, and the time I've spent working on our race cars, working in the shop. Really about 2015.
Changes the game.
I kind of got fired. They're like, look, we have real professionals to be in the shop here. You don't need to be, trying to put your seats in here or anything like that.
Were there any changes that needed to be made here at this organization in the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, there was several different parts of it. The old car we'd gotten behind, kind of about the time that testing went away, and didn't have a good opportunity to catch up. I think the next gen car hit a pretty good reset for us on one end of things. On the other end was just trying to change up how we approached it. And I think Brad coming over and having a lot of the insight that he's had from kind of tweaking things to kind of focus on very minute details along the way that are definitely adding up with this car. And I think was probably more important than we realized.
Walk me through last season.
First thing is our goals were no different last year than they are this year, and we didn't quite reach them last year. So we did a good job at not getting caught up in that, and we fired off really good this year.
Green flag is in the air, and Buescher is gone like a rocket.
What's going on with you this season? What's happened?
That's a good thing. You
It's a
said
great
what
thing.
happened, like it's like
great
what's
thing.
going on, but no, it's.
Let me in on the secret of the water here in the K building.
I'm gonna drink more of it. That's what I know. I know that it's taken a lot of work from tons of different people here, and it's been impressive to see. It's funny, just some of the people coming up to you and joking through the last couple weeks, like, we were happy for you with the first one, but now we need you to back it down a little bit. Like, we're competitors too, so.
What was the off season like between 2022 and 2023 for you?
Had a kid. Yep, that's what I remember.
No big deal.
It was a little bit of a blur. Yeah, a lot of lack of sleep.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute blast. We ride around the farm. She'll stand in my lap and grab the steering wheel. Now she's trying to eat the steering wheel. She's not really paying attention where she's going.
Doesn't matter.
But it's been a blast. I'm already making her drive something.
I mean, this one belongs to Brad just as much.
Drove a hell of a race, man.
Yeah, it was good. It was a really solid night.
I know that you're the boss man here. When you walk in, you expect a certain level of professionalism. but Paige in her Instagram bio has that she's the executive assistant to Scarlett and Autumn. So who's boss at home?
Definitely not me. It's very humbling when I get home to go from being the boss to being, you know, kind of the farm boy.
Yeah. Wacky.
Yeah,
right.
you know, when I leave the house, I left the house this morning and it was, hey, don't forget to take out the trash. What's my chores today? But you know what, that's good. That's the humility that I think serves all of us well. We all need that in our lives.
I love you, baby. Daddy, see you after the race, okay?
I have kind of felt the narrative change about RFK, especially over this last season. Have you felt that?
Yeah, I really felt like we started turning a corner at the end of last year.
Chris Buescher will win his second Cup Series race, and it happens in Bristol.
But by that time, the playoffs had started and nobody was focusing on us, which I was fine with. Because, you know, when you're trying to fix something, like, there's a lot of power and privilege you get from...
Don't look at us.
Yeah, people not looking at you. Like, you're going through your awkward, you know, teenage years. Yeah, like, the company was in braces last year. Like, we knew our teeth weren't right, so we put braces on. It was very awkward.
Yeah.
And as we were working through that, I could see the progress. Like, oh, this is going to get somewhere. And I felt like we would have the year we're having right now at the start of this year. But you just don't know, right? You don't know how it's going to play out.
Yeah. And now you have both cars in the playoffs. How does that feel for you?
I mean, it's incredible. It's a great step forward, but it's not the goal. We're still going to measure ourselves based on results. The world's going to measure ourselves based on results. One of the things that's really important to me is, as it comes to the race team, we don't want people to set individual goals. We want to have collective goals to where we're all pulling the rope towards the same thing. And if we can highlight those very visually throughout our company, then hopefully that's the case.
Executing like we did today, each and every week. You know you can't be perfect, but we're doing all the right things.
So 2023, can you guys win a championship?
We can. We're going to need some things to go our way, which you will always need. But we have enough speed to keep the field on their toes.
Yeah, I know the NASCAR Cup Series is always a pressure cooker. How do you feel about the 17 crew in the playoffs, and what's the goal?
I mean, the goal is to win a championship. It always is. The goal is to win races and take some chances. And that's where I'm at. As long as we go do that, I'll be satisfied whether it works or doesn't.
Knowing what you know now, look back on your whole entire career, Penske, BKR, everything that you have done, would you do it all the same?
For the most part, other than I would have done the team ownership thing earlier. I didn't know it at the time, and I wasn't bold enough, but for the most part, I would have done everything the same.
We're building something and that's going to be special for a long time, and that's a big goal of mine. And you know, the bigger picture is to have a sustainable race team that can win for championships for years to come.
Oh, yeah! Awesome job! Awesome!